Manchester, Kentucky, once known as the painkiller capital of the nation, is now known as the City of Hope. This night, hundreds have come out to see the world premiere of An Appalachian Dawn, a documentary that tells how God transformed a region held captive by corruption, poverty, and drugs. It all started in 2004. The citizens of Clay County were desperate. Their children were dying in record numbers from drugs, and the dealers ran the town. Desperation turned into prayer and unity as folks laid aside their denominational differences to march through town. They bravely told the drug dealers, "Get saved or get busted." The pastors repented for not working together and letting evil take over the land.
Well, first of all, when 63 churches in a small county marched through town together, for us, that was bigger than the parting of the Red Sea. And you can talk to the 3,500 or 4,000 people that were there today. You start talking about the march, and everybody tears up. It's just an awesome thing that happened. And then from that, it's like all of a sudden the church had a voice in our community. We thought we had a voice before, but we really didn't.
Since the March of 2004, nearly every facet of society here in Manchester has been transformed, from the drug culture to political corruption. Locals say even the land is responding to the increased presence of God.
When God comes, he comes like a divine chiropractor. He snaps things back into alignment that have been out of alignment, whether it's in the political sphere, the economic sphere, the ecological sphere. A few years ago, there was no elk at all here in this part of eastern Kentucky. But right now, they have the largest elk population east of the Mississippi. The black bear have returned in very, very large numbers, which has brought tourists back into the area, which has begun to rekindle the economy of some of the local communities.
Even the water is better. In 2008, Kentucky awarded Manchester for having the best tasting water in the state. The documentary's producer, George Otis Jr., has researched nearly 800 cases of transformation revival around the world. But until Manchester, there was not one place in America that met all the criteria.
Transformation is not simply confined to a series of great meetings in churches or conferences. So, when you talk about the presence of God in church meetings, that's one thing. But what about at City Hall? Can they feel the presence of God there? What about in the local campuses? Do they feel it in the classrooms or in the jail or so forth and so on?
Otis says the power of God fell on Manchester because the people of God fell to their knees.
They had two choices. They could either throw in the towel and say, we're losing an entire generation to drugs, there isn't going to be a tomorrow in Manchester, or they could fight back. And it wasn't the whole community that fought back. It was really a handful of people that did. But that's very typically the way it works in genuine transformation stories.
It was amazing. I didn't ever dream that God could take somebody like me and the way I used to be and put me where I am now.
After years of running from the law, former drug dealer Steve Collette surrendered his life to Christ and now helps other men get off drugs through a program called Lifeline at Manchester's Community Church.
Guys has done time with me, and they thinking, well, he's lost his mind, or this is real. And I tell them, look, man, I found the right thing, and his name's Jesus, and we've had great results of that.
This fall, the story of Manchester hits the road in what they're calling the Hope for America Tour, a 50-city tour featuring the new documentary, An Appalachian Dawn, which is already inspiring many who seek revival in their towns.
I was in tears a lot. I had a son that died from drugs, and he was only 42. That's why I have such a passion to try to help other people that are addicted.
And I believe that we're now, 12 to 24 months away from a whole new crop of transformed communities in different parts of the United States. I can't tell you which ones they're going to be, but some of them are going to ignite.
I said, Lord, why Manchester? Why would Manchester, Kentucky be the place? And he said, because if people can understand how bad it's been and where you are now, it will give every city in America hope that they can change.
Wendy Griffith, CBN News, Manchester, Kentucky.